Hey, what's up, guys? Alex at SipNote Tech coming at you with 5 things you should know about the iPhone SE. So I've been using this phone for a couple weeks now. I got it on the day of the release, and I thought it was a good time to share with you some thoughts about what I liked and disliked about my very first iPhone. Even though this is my first iPhone, I am an expert at small phones. I've been using small phones for a long time, the best small phones you can possibly get, like the previous one, which was the Z5 Compact. But there's a new king of small phones, and it's called the iPhone SE. So here are 5 things you should know before you buy them, before you buy this, and let's jump into it. So the first most important thing we need to get out of the way is the real estate size of this. The screen size is 4 inches, and the phone itself is 4.87 inches. The entire phone is 4.7 inches, 4.87 inches. There are some phones like the iPhone 6 and 6S, and even this Sony Z5 Compact, which the screen itself is almost that big. It's almost as big as the entire phone. So the screen size is almost as big as the entire phone. But I'm happy to say, after using 4.7-inch phones and 5-inch phones and 5.5-inch phones and even a 6-inch phone, I did not find this too small. I didn't find the real estate on the screen too small. You can make this work for sure. This is definitely something that you can look at, and you won't feel claustrophobic or feel like, hey, you know what, my eyes are hurting or anything. It works. It works if you're a college student or someone under the age of 50. I'm sure this phone will work for you. If you're a senior citizen and your sight is not that great, then yeah, maybe this is a little too small. But for the general mass consumer out there, I think this baby has plenty of screen real estate. It just takes a little time for you to adjust, but it definitely is manageable. And the second thing that we need to talk about is screen quality. So there is a difference between screen size and screen quality. So obviously this display is the same display as the 5S, and it means it's nowhere near the quality you're going to see at the 6 or the 6S. It is a Retina display, but what the hell does that mean? Because this is still a sub 720p, so this is not even high definition. It's not a high definition screen, if you can believe that. This is a $500 or $400 device. This particular model is a $500 device because it's the 64 gigabyte one, but the starting price of the iPhone SE is $399. So $400, you're getting a sub 720p screen. This is less than 720p, which is the minimum for high definition qualifications. So even though Apple throws out Retina and whatever the hell Retina means to them, this is not a high definition screen. So that's something you need to consider. You also don't get that smooth feeling of like a 2.5D glass that you kind of feel for modern phones like the Xiaomi Mi 5 or Samsung phones. The S7 Edge, obviously, and the 6S, the iPhone 6S has a really nice feel in the glass. This one does not have that, and it also doesn't have the 3D touch features, although it does have live photo. So you just do a long press on the live photo, and you get a simulated effect. And at least it features that, so that's a plus. But in terms of the actual screen quality, this is definitely nowhere near a 6 or 6S, so you shouldn't be expecting that. However, it is satisfying enough. This device and the screen quality for a 4-inch phone, I think, works okay. Colors are alright. It's a little cool, in my opinion. And it is sharp, though, because for a 4-inch, the pixel density is pretty good. And I believe it's 326 pixels per inch. So this is about the same as I think the 2014 Moto X had the same pixel density, around that pixel density, but of course it had a bigger screen. So that's saying something, that it at least still has 326 pixels per inch. So the screen works. You would like it to be at least 720p. I don't know why they couldn't, just do that. Some people will argue that you can't even notice the difference with the screen size, but at least it sounds sexier that it is at least, at minimum, an HD display. So, moving on to the third thing you need to know, battery life. Battery life on this thing is insanely good. This is the best battery life I've ever had on any phone, period. Usually on smaller phones you have better battery life because it's a lower screen resolution, and this definitely helps because it is a sub 720p screen, so there's less powering, less energy needed to light up the screen. I averaged about 7 hours of on-screen time, and this is with heavy gaming, heavy YouTube use, Reddit use, Googling. I've never had battery life this good before. By comparison, my previous battery king was the Z3 Compact, which I got about 4 or 5 hours of on-screen time, and that, in my opinion, was superb. I've never had a phone hit those levels before. Even the Z5 Compact, which I was slightly disappointed in, I got about 3 hours to 4 hours of on-screen time when it first came out. And I thought that was pretty damn good, too. And it was my go-to phone for everything because of my business scheduling and all that stuff. But I have to say, this iPhone SE just kills everything. I've been able to play with the 6S before, and the battery life is okay. S7 Edge is pretty damn good, too, battery life. But nothing beats this phone. I'm telling you, as a power user, this is the king of battery life right now. And you're going to get a day out of this phone easily. There's no way you're not going to get a day out of the phone. I pushed this phone to the limit, and I got a day out of it from basically 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Heavy usage. I'm telling you, it's like heavy usage. And for the mass general consumers, you're probably going to get 2 days out of this phone easily. Fourth thing. Are we on 4? I guess we're on 4. There is a significant problem with Bluetooth. So I didn't notice this at first, but the Bluetooth connectivity problems is real. I don't know if you've read about it, but if you Google it, there is a huge issue with the iPhone SE and connecting it to Bluetooth-connected cars. So, for example, in my BMW, when I use this device, the SE connected onto my Bluetooth, it has horrible call quality. Like, you're talking to somebody from the 1990s on really crappy cell reception. That's what I'm getting from this phone, which is weird because I haven't had that problem with any phone. It's not just my car. I tried it with the 16 gigabyte model that I also purchased that you could see in the unboxing video. I bought that one for my father, and he actually uses it on his own car. And he also has the same issue. At first, I thought it was just because we were calling the same person, but I've noticed that it is everybody. I tested it with a different phone connected back to my car. I have 3 phones connected to my car. This one is fine. The other one is fine too. The only phone that has bad call quality, where it's basically, you can't even hear. It's so muffled that you have no idea what the other person's saying. It's all scratchy. The only phone that had that problem was this one. So it's not the cars, it's the phone. And I quickly Googled it, and a lot of people are having that problem. I don't know if it's a first batch issue. This was one of the first batch iPhone SEs, since I got it on launch day. So I don't know if that's something resolved currently, but there is no fix right now from what I've read. And I'm going to go to the Apple Store and check that out. But that's something to know if you are a heavy caller and you use your phone over Bluetooth in your car a lot. This is a major issue, and you're better off served using the onboard speaker over your car Bluetooth speaker, because it does not work. And finally, the fifth thing about the iPhone SE. Overall, this is a pretty damn good phone. I like the package a lot. The battery life is the king. So if battery life is very important to you, this is really good. And for small phone lovers, people who like phones that are manageable with one hand, this is a good phone. And don't worry about the 4-inch screen real estate. You can't really tell the difference between a 4.6 and a 4-incher. I know a lot of people argue the fact, but I really do believe you can't tell the difference. I put it side by side, and it's just narrowly larger. The 4.6 inch is slightly larger than the 4-incher. Go to an Apple store and test it out. Put it next to a 6S and look at the actual screen real estate and see how much you can give up. And see if that really works for you. This is literally 3 fingers for the entire screen. And I think that's plenty of real estate. You can play games. You don't have to squint too much. You don't have to squint at all. And I think this is a perfect size. Ideally, I would hope that they would bump up the front-facing camera. It's not that great. They added a couple features like the white flash screen for the selfie cameras that they included on the iPhone 6S. And live photos is also a great little addition. The fingerprint scanner is not good. So this is a first-generation fingerprint scanner, same one on the 5S. And this thing is, if you have sweaty fingers or a little dirt on it, it also maintains a lot of your fingerprint. So if you press it a lot, you unlock your phone a lot, your fingerprint gets really dirty here. And it doesn't recognize it. It doesn't unlock it half the time. And it's very frustrating because I have the same problem with this phone. The Sony Z5 Compact also has a really finicky fingerprint scanner. It retains a lot of your moisture, so it prevents your fingerprint from reading. They fixed that problem with the iPhone 6S and also Samsung and Huawei for the Nexus 6P. They have great fingerprint scanners. The 5X, I've never had any problems with the fingerprint scanning on those phones. It's just the older ones, the older models, like this fingerprint scanner from the 5S, same fingerprint scanner from the 5S, has that issue. So disappointed with that, but at least they included it for this price point. I keep saying this price point as if it was a good thing, and I have mixed feelings about that too, because although this is the cheapest iPhone ever at $400 and $500 for the 64 gigabytes, it's still not that cheap. If you think about it, the iPhone SE compared to something like the Mi 5 or even the Moto X Pure or a 6P, I don't know if I could recommend this over them for the value you're getting in comparison to what those phones offer. Like, for example, if you can get a 6P for $400-something, I think you should get that over this phone, even if it's a huge phone and you want something small, because you're going to get a lot more high-quality stuff, Like, just the screen resolution itself is a main selling point, and the fingerprint scanner is very reliable on the 6P, whereas the SE is not. Also, you can use the same casing on your iPhone SE as the ones on the 5S, but it's just slightly off. Like, the buttons and the camera is just like slightly off the original ones, and so it doesn't match up perfectly. It's just a little off, just like a little hair off. And how frustrating is that? Like, they tease you where it's so close, yet you still probably have to get new ones. And I'm actually running a skin from Decal Girls, and she marketed, or Decal Girls marketed as a iPhone SE skin that also fits on the 5S. And this is actually just a 5S skin, and it doesn't really fit perfectly on the iPhone SE. So minor little differences there, little annoyances. But aside from that, if you're really dead set on an iPhone, this is a great starting point. This is the cheapest iPhone you can get. I highly recommend skipping the 16 gigabyte one and paying a little bit more, $100 more for the 64 gigabyte one, because you are not going to survive with live photos and 4K videos on 16 gigabytes. You just can't do that. And for $500 for an iPhone, I guess it's a good entry price, because if you go with the next step up, the cheapest one is still significantly more expensive, $100, $200 more for the iPhone 6, and sometimes $300 more for the 6S. So definitely a good first iPhone if you want to jump into it, or if you really want a small phone, this is the best one you can get. I am very confident in saying that this is the best small phone you can get. They just displaced the Sony line, which compact lovers like myself have been big proponents for. Sony dropped the ball, in my opinion, on the Z5 compact, so it made me jump over to the iPhone, and I'm pretty happy with this phone. So those are 5 thoughts, or 6 thoughts. I don't know. I kind of went off in a little rant there. But I hope this helps, and go out, try this out, see if you like it. And this is Alex from Semnotech. I hope this helped a little bit, and be sure to subscribe.